Hello friends, welcome to a beautiful morning in Bali. And today I want to talk about a couple of things. I'm just doing my morning routine here. I just woke up. I haven't touched the pad yet. This is the first time I do the exercise. Feels good. I'm feeling good. Have a natural feeling today, loose. That's good. And well, I want to talk about the polar opposite world of what we usually discuss here on the channel, which is the music business and the Grammys. No, I can't help to laugh when I think about that organization, the Grammys. It's probably the biggest joke in the music world right now. It's so completely and utterly fraudulent. It's not even funny. It's just a complete fraud. And I have to laugh when I see these guys, especially more jazz-oriented guys, posting on their Facebook or whatever. Oh, I'm nominated for a Grammy. What? That's probably a bad sign. If you're nominated for anything that has to do with popularity, it's a bad sign. I cannot believe that people listen to this garbage. I mean, it's so sad. Absolutely sad. Probably 90% of that music is derivative anyway. And it's just something that I never think about. I never think about the Grammys. It's something so far removed from my mind that it feels like another completely other business to me. There was a clinic that I attended with Ron Eshtay. I told the story before, but it's great. Ron Eshtay, great jazz guitarist, and he was doing his master class, and sorry about the insects. I'm in Bali. I'm in the middle of the jungle, kind of, and there's going to be insects screaming. So Ron Eshtay is doing his clinic, and some guy raises his hand, and Ron, being a pretty cool guy, he calls the guy to ask a question. And the guy says something like, "What do you think about Elvis? He was the greatest guitar player in the world." Right? And Ron Eshtay just pauses for a moment, and he gets real close to the mic, and he says, "That's show business. That's not this." And that's all he said. And that moment stuck with me forever, because it made a clear distinction between the two worlds. The world of music, of musicians, and the world of businessmen and promoting absolute garbage. Now, why do I say absolute garbage? Because music has definitely popular music has definitely gotten worse in the Western world. Let me make that very clear. I think some popular music in Brazil is pretty damn cool. In India is pretty damn cool. Some popular music in different locations of the world is pretty cool, right? I don't understand how in Bali this Western music reaches every bar, every restaurant. It's the worst garbage, the worst side of the culture of the United States that there is, and it's getting played everywhere, and it really makes me sad, because what I've noticed with normal people is that they just listen to something and they get used to it. It's not like they can discern, it's bad or good, or even what's the rhythm, what's the chords, what's the song structure. They just listen to the words. There's a famous film called Young Man with a Horn. If you haven't seen that film, please watch it. It's with Kirk Douglas and Lauren Bacall. And it's one of the films that marked my life I highly suggest you watch it because it basically embodies everything that we talk about as musicians on a daily basis as musicians. Okay, so this situation, I don't know who to blame sometimes. Do I blame musicians or do I blame a sick society? And many times I think I want to blame musicians for allowing this to go on, because so many people are just like, well, whatever, I need to make $1, I need to, man, I just don't understand that mentality at all. At all. There's so many great ways that you can function in music. And, that whole mentality is really baffles me. Now, as a side note to this whole thing, if you look at our world, the drumming world, I mean, this has been happening for a long time. I predicted this like 20 years ago. I saw more and more drummers playing alone in a room than playing music, right? Now it's ubiquitous, right? It's just it's become this thing. And I think because the music industry has vanished, I mean, the gig, let's say the real music industry has vanished. No more sessions, no more, even bands are vanishing. If you look at the top 10, whatever bullshit, that incredible bullshit is, it's like production stuff. There's no bands, from what I understand. I don't look at those charts, okay? It has nothing to do with me. But apparently it's all productions and no bands or hardly any bands. Okay, so people are not playing in bands, people are not doing gigs, but the love of drumming continues. Okay, I mean, I see it all over the world. All over the world, people are still loving drums, still loving to play, right? So we as drummers, as musicians, we have to embody this mindset, I think, of going back to the spiritual aspects of music. Because otherwise we look at this world and what it represents, and it's utterly depressing. But the fact is that you have a massive antidepressant right in the palm of your hands. You have access to an incredibly beautiful world that is so vast and never ending that it brings immense satisfaction. And coming from that standpoint, you can create something new for yourself. Okay? I'm not saying you're going to be a millionaire, but I'm saying you can have a beautiful life with music in your life, okay? And you just have to dedicate yourself to that spiritual path in music. Now, I don't want to sound too Ubud. Ubud is the zone area where I'm in, and it's known for its spiritual, side. It's like the spiritual center of Bali, pretty much. There's tons of yoga stuff and meditations, breathing workshops. It's just full of these things, and maybe some of it's rubbed off on me, but I've been this way my whole life. I've never not thought of drums as a spiritual thing. So it's perhaps that because of that I'm on this island, and not the reverse. Not that didn't call me, I called it into my existence, let's say. So yeah, I think you in this year, what I would do to make sure you can play forever and have drums forever in your life is to embrace the spiritual side of drumming, which in the end, that's what we're supposed to do. We are supposed to be witch doctors. We're supposed to be the witch doctors of the village and, help people see and be connected, let's say, be connected to the world of the unseen, right? That is the function. That is why you do this. This is why you do this. Okay? You don't do it to be faster, the fastest. You don't do it to become a millionaire. You don't do it to get girls. Although when I was young, I thought that would be a byproduct. Didn't work. It did to some extent, let's say. But this is why you do this, okay? It's not for any of the other reasons. It's not for the frickin' Grammys, for God's sake. And it's certainly not for anything that exists outside of yourself. It's not for people, right? This is for you. This part is for you. That is the part for your soul. That is where hypnagogia occurs and where you can be transported into this beautiful world of drumming and your soul can be reborn, okay, as a musician. That's what you need to combat this situation. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and remember, the lesson site is waiting for you. If you want to study, you know, stuff that is of very marketable value, very indeed sought after by musicians, not, you know, Instagram. The things that musicians need and the thing that Instagram needs are totally different, okay? If you want to function in music, you have to study things that are aimed for you to be a musician. And that is all on my lesson site, okay? philmaturano.com, $250 for the year program. And we have the elite program, which is 1 week, 3 hours a day with me online. And you can check out that program here. I'm gonna have a little video about it. And you, of course, you have hand consultations and online evaluations where I basically watch a video of you playing or several and give you ideas about where you can take your drumming. Good for guys that are entering university, or even if you just want to improve your playing. Okay, and yeah, I hope to see you on the lesson site, and I just want to thank everybody who watches this channel. Thank goodness for you, because, you know, first of all, where would I be if you guys didn't watch this channel? I would be probably in a place where I didn't think anyone thought the same way that I do. And obviously it's not the case. There are many people around the world that feel the same way I do, and which is so refreshing, and thank goodness. Also, I want to thank you for trusting me. All the lesson site guys, okay, we have students from all over the world, even China, and I communicate with them through, you know, apps that translate instantly. I want to thank you guys for trusting me with your time and money, okay, when you join the lesson sites, when you take my programs. This is an absolute sacred thing for me, your drumming, and I want to thank you for trusting me with it, because there's so many options you might take. Okay, all right guys, thanks for watching this. Again, peace out.
Hi friends, I'm here to tell you about an exciting new program I have on my lesson site. It's called the Elite Program. In this program, you're going to be working with me very, very closely while I guide you through the entire site. The Elite Program, why do I call it that? Because I'm searching for the most dedicated people to study this material. If you want to be a professional drummer, you're going to have to change your life. You're going to have to put drums ahead of everything. And I'm here to make sure that that decision is something that's going to benefit your life in the most positive way it can. Some websites have guest artists that come in and show you some stuff for about an hour and then they leave and you never hear from them again. You're stuck with the guys on the site that may or may not have much experience at all. In this program, you're going to be working with me directly, 3 hours a day for an entire week online, okay? We're going to be having conference online, video conference, 3 hours a day for a week. In this week, I'm going to guide you through everything, prepare you. I'm going to watch you play. I'm going to watch you practice. We're going to work together on things in the moment, okay, which is very important. Now, why the price, you may ask? Well, an online video session with me usually costs $270 for 2 hours. A private lesson with me in New York costs $100 an hour. A lot of guys charge a lot more than $100, maybe $200, $300 an hour. My price is $100 an hour. I think that's fair. So if you take that many hours with me, okay, 7 times 3, that's 21, that's $2,100. The price of the course is $1,900. So you're already saving $400 by doing it this way. $400 savings. Plus, you have the full year membership to the site with email support, Skype support, and everything else. This unique study situation has been brought about by the technology we enjoy today. Before, you would have had to travel to New York, hang out with me, come to my house, you know, have all those expenses of going to New York, which many guys have done. But now we can do things in a much more, let's say, efficient basis, more economical, and a way that you can be constantly in touch, not only having me in New York there while you're there. Okay, so this is, I think, an amazing opportunity to study. I've taught at some of the best drumming institutions in the world. That's not something that everybody can say. And I have all that knowledge right here waiting for you. If you're serious about your drumming, the lesson site is there. And I'm there as well, ready to make sure you get the most out of the drumming experience and having drums in your life. Okay? I hope you will check out the Elite program. The most innovative curriculum there is comes from having the experience from teaching all over the world, drummers at every level from the highest drumming cultures on the planet. What you're going to need to participate is a way to interact with me online. You need to have a drum set up with your camera, your phone, or whatever. It has to sound halfway decent, and a good Wi-Fi connection so we have uninterrupted streaming. Now, as far as the price goes, if you use PayPal, you can break up the payments. PayPal offers you a variety of ways you can pay. You can use your credit card, and if you don't have access to those things, just write me and we'll figure out a way. But this is a very important program and I think you're gonna love it. It's not a common opportunity to study drums, so I hope you'll take it and make the best of it. All right, folks, see you on the Elite program. Peace.